What's up, everyone? It's your boy, The Business, coming back at you live for episode 2 of The Business. Let's be real. Had a little mishap with the guest I was planning on having tonight. Senior Master Sergeant Mike Bylica was unable to join us tonight. He is in the process of getting deployed right now. Much respect for you, Mike. Appreciate what you do for our country. So totally understand that, things didn't work out tonight, but we will have you on the show, up in the future. So I appreciate you, Mike. But what I do appreciate is that the guy I had planned for next week was willing to step up and jump on the show this week for me. And it's a big move by him. Totally appreciate the guy. He is Tim Steller from Stellar Artworks. More than happy to have this guy on. The piece I have behind me is one of his early pieces. We'll talk about that. Totally happy to have this guy on. Honored. Good friend of mine. I've known the guy for 10 years and, lifetime friend. I'll never be able to show the gratitude for this guy of what he's been able to do for me in my life. Just show me the process and the drive of what he's been able to do. So with that being said, The Business, episode 2, Let's Be Real, begins now. What's up, everyone? Welcome back. I got my boy Tim Steller from Stellar Artworks. Timmy, I appreciate you, man, coming out. How you feeling tonight, man?
Oh, feeling great, man. Thank you so much. This is very exciting. I love getting a chance to do this with you.
Oh, man, I appreciate it, dude. We've done this before on previous shows, and, some things have happened since then. In the positive for you, you made the best out of 2020 when things were going rough for a lot of people. You guys have kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And I mean, it's been totally an inspiration. It's an inspiration to see what you guys are still doing and where it's going, and I just want to let you know how much I appreciate you being able to step in for this episode. And, I kind of want to just pick your brain on and have you talk to the people and tell them a little bit about you, the person, before the artwork, and then if you want to get into the artwork, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for that lovely intro. Long stories are always a fun story, but Tim Steller has been coming from a background coming from New York and moved down here roughly 20 years ago now. Came down here with a simple little idea, just wanted to see what it's like to put your toes in the sand and not have to worry about the up north cold, brutal winters. And as soon as I came down here, I knew I was in love, and it was supposed to be a 6-month trip. Turned out to be 20 years. Here I am still. So it's just a beautiful little world down here we have, and you can't say enough about that. But it was really cool to just get settled in here and find this new place called home, quickly find a way around towns and move into newer, bigger places and all that fun stuff. But I quickly fell right in love with the whole restaurant world, where I really just got a chance to see the whole inner circle of the world of the restaurant and moved throughout the whole areas from waiting tables to bartending to all that fun stuff, where eventually we landed at Maria Jack's. And that was probably one of the biggest moves for my whole life, because I found everything I could possibly imagine there, including my beautiful wife, where we met, my great friend Tony right here, where we also met. So a lot of really cool things happened at that restaurant. But that was also a really big moment in my life where I was really going through some changes, as well as just mentally, and just trying to just look at things differently. And it was ironic that I got a chance to meet Ashley throughout the whole process, and we get a chance to build our business now. But even just in the beginning days, just getting a chance to think like what else we could possibly do and try to think of new ventures. I've always been doing artwork always as a kid, but nothing on a level where I was thinking like this is going to be something I'm going to be doing professionally one day. So it's always just been a back burner thing, just kind of have fun dabbling with it when you can. But I just remember one time I had a bar shift. It was August and I had nothing going on at all. So I was just on my phone and I went to Craigslist and I saw a palette for free. And I just took that palette home and started messing around with it. And I'll never forget the first thing we ever made was a shark. And this shark ended up in Camden's room, our little boy, when he was a brand new boy. perfect little headboard. It really looked cool. And then we were thinking like, man, we got to make this a nightlight somehow. And I remember Ashley came across these lights at, I think it was a Pier 1 store or something like that. And that was just the spark, man. We just knew something was really cool about this because they're battery operated now. You don't have to go plugging it in. There's not a big converter box. It's a simple operation. So we added lights to that shark, and then instantly we knew we had something really cool. And I never stopped thinking about it since then, and just kept on evolving into new and new creations. And then here I am later on, like this is 6 or 7 years now or so, 6 years, and just steadily just trying to make new and new creations, and just having that drive just to constantly want to make something cooler the next time you do it. And each one's always going to be original too. So there's never duplicates. There's not reproductions. I've been in the art business for a little while now. I've noticed that a lot of artists are amazing at what they do, but they also rely heavily on just reproductions of that one art that they did. And they can sell 2,000 of those. That's great. That's never the case with this. This is woodworking, artwork, and LED technology all in one. So it's a really combination of all three. I think that makes it so unique and what's been doing so far so well.
That's true. That's true. You know, and I don't think that people truly understand that, like, you know, the artwork, even the piece that you see behind them, there's not another piece. Like, none of them are exactly the same. Even the ones that have similar, you know, arts on it, like pieces that you have on it, then none of them are going to be the exact same, you know, and I think that that's what's cool. I think you're also big into customizing for people. Like, I mean, you've done so many pieces for restaurants just around the city of Sarasota, you know, that are customized strictly to that particular place. Like, and I mean, that was a big way of you having it in. I know, you know, some of your early pieces were totally based on restaurants. Can you kind of elaborate on hitting that?
Yeah,
first, kind of.
And going back to the whole thing, that I really still in the beginning stages only really knew restaurants. So I was like, man, this is where I should bring it. I guess it's the restaurants. So I think they would like that. But I mean, what better way to display your personal logo or your business theme or environment kind of thing on a large wall artwork that you could have behind, let's say, a host stand, and even better, it lights up. So, I mean, it's really appealing to them because they're getting their business card on a piece of wood. And it's just so unique, and it's just eye-catching. I think that woodworking has always been a passion of mine, but I think everybody can honestly say they like woodworking one way or another. You don't have to be an avid fan, but you got to admit, when you walk past a piece that's just like a gorgeous piece of furniture, for example, you can't even stop and think about it. Like, that's amazing. And that's woodworking. That's just that passion. So I've always applied that. And going back to what you just said a minute ago, all these artworks are really one of a kind, and that's just right off the bat. It's just because of these wood imperfections. If you look behind me, the staggered board look right there alone is just something I always thought was so cool. So my mission was always just try to look past the canvas as what has always been as the medium for artwork. I mean, it's always been that way, of course, but if you look at something like this, that's something a little bit different and much more unique. So this is a perfect example of just wood carving, some painting, and with some stains and acrylics to get this little bit of a fade of colors. And then once again, the LEDs change all these artworks into a whole other art at night. So it's a 2-part artwork.
I mean, and that's what's cool, dude. Like, I mean, I remember when you were like kind of starting out, like I said, and you were doing the restaurant business, and I had seen what you were doing, and I kind of wanted a little piece to myself, and I was like, I don't know exactly what I want. I want, you know what I mean, like a G or something at the time. Cause I mean, we're talking about, like you said at the beginning, like 6 years ago, 7 years ago. I've had this piece, it was hanging in my living room for years, and I stole it from the living room to put it in my background show for now.
Oh, good there.
That's how much I love it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, oh, I gotta fit this in somehow. And that's why I did it. And I mean, and when you went to this route, I remember when you called me and we were just talking, and you were like, hey, what colors are you thinking? I was like, I don't know. I don't know what colors. Like, I'm not big on colors like that. Like, I'm not set on anything. I'm like, I just love wood. And you were like, you know what? let me take a blowtorch to it. Let me rough it up a little bit, and it's gonna be a beautiful piece. And I mean, and that's what came out of it is you did this super dope G. Later in the show, I'll turn the lights on. I should have had the lights on it, just so that people can see it. You know what I mean? Because you got the red glowers behind it, dude, and it's super dope.
That goes with the whole torching thing too. So you got the element of the fire. So a little bit of that red light is just like a natural fit for something like that too. It's custom piece for you, man. Nobody else has got that.
That's true. That's what I'm saying. Like people, you can reach out to this guy, kind of, you know what I'm saying, and try to find him, and because he's one of those, like I said last week with my boy Justin. Tim is also a local artist that has been fortunate enough to break off from the business. You know, he was in food and beverage for years, more years than he probably like to tell you. You know what I'm saying? But he was able to find a way out, and his way out was this art, and his art is fantastic. And I mean, he does so many things. It's not just these signs. He's done so many pieces, and I'm going to get into a little bit of his Instagram later in the show to kind of show you and have him explain what it is that he is making available. You know, this was early in the artworks. What he has behind me and what he has behind himself was early in the process for him on what he was starting to do. Where they've taken it now, him and his wife Ashley have just, you know, pushed it to a whole nother level. It's gone into, you know, resin tops, and they just keep pushing. And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what they're doing. Like, they're doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing in the art field. You keep pushing, you keep trying to evolve with the times, and you know what I mean, and that's what you have to do. You know, the same way you guys are doing that artwork is the same way I'm trying to do this webcast, to evolve from the previous show that I was doing. Look to move on and move up. You know what I mean? Like, I know that was it for that plateau, and it's time to move on. And what you guys have done has just been super cool, dude.
It's a real thrill, because it's really like the whole thing is such a new experience every time we're doing stuff. So we're kind of like going with it. At the same time, we're really just having fun. And at the same time, like this is really happening. Kind of that feeling is still like 6 years later, we're like, wow, this is still really happening. I can't believe it. But I was just going to touch upon that too. Like, I've always been a fan of tattooing, and just how that's such a sacred art. And for somebody to do something that permanent, it's that important to them. But if you take that world of tattooing and apply it to woodworking, that's really what I'm trying to do. So people come to me with their ideas. Hey, I want to do this, but I don't really know how to lay it out in my mind. I see it in my mind. So I'll just come back to them with a sketch idea and like, hey, what do you think about this? And it's just so cool, because it's just what they wanted. They haven't been able to find anything like it. And then there's just a real custom piece for somebody. And I'll tell you what, I've always been, ever since a little kid, art is always something that's more important than any other personal property that I own. Like, if I move to another house, that's the first thing that gets wrapped up. So it's just something like that is like so personal to most people that take home these artworks, because they know like this is more important than most things that they have. I mean, for you to put something on your wall that you know everybody's going to see probably first, that's pretty a big statement. So it's my job to make that thing look cool. But even in the world, like right now, unfortunately, with the whole virus, it's just been a really, we had to really kind of rebrand ourselves a little bit more and strictly go towards the online world, because a lot of people will be at home. Quarantine was no fun, but you were at home. So I know everybody's on the computer. So we had to make a stronger presence and just make that name a little bit more readily available. And it's amazing how like Instagram, with their algorithm, they just throw it to all these different states. And now Ashley and I can say we have artwork all across the US, and that's just like the coolest feeling in the world to think of. So it's a really, really cool plateau that we've reached, and not even really knowing how to do it. We've just been trying to figure this out along the way, and it's been working.
No, that's cool, dude. And that's what I mean. Like, it's difficult when it's just the two of you kind of working as marketing and running the website and trying to answer know emails and doing it all. I mean, and I mean you guys are doing well, and that's what I mean. Like, I know it's tough. Sometimes, you know, when artists are going through it, and I talked about the last week, like that, you know, they need support from those people, the local, you know what I mean,
Yep.
people that are out there trying to help push these guys.
Right.
There's always going to be haters out there kind of trying to keep you down, but there's more of a support system always, and if you believe in that,
Right.
you can continue to grow, and that's what's most important, is like just trying to keep your name out there, living through it all. And I think that you guys have done a great job of that.
It's also how as an artist, you have to constantly try to always challenge yourself, or you will get stagnant. You will just get bored, and most people will fade away. They just, pick up another hobby or just stop what they've been doing. But when I say an artist, I don't mean somebody that paints. Everybody is an artist at their own craft. So once again, you have to just keep your blade sharp. You want to make sure you're always trying to outdo your last performance, because that keeps you excited. And that's another thing, that we bring that passion towards our business. And it's unbelievable how just only literally an hour ago, Ashley and I were just saying, like, I never thought 10 years ago we could tell people, like, we built a table, like we made a bar top. We put together an entire operation for Margaritaville. I mean, it's amazing.
Kind of going into that, I had brought that up earlier in the show, and talked about how, since we were on last, big things have happened for you guys. Yeah. And that was one of the things that kind of was going on in the process when we interviewed, and you guys were working that out, trying to finish that job before you wanted to announce it on that part of the show. And now, I mean, kind of talk about it. Yep. As far as what you guys were able to do and what you worked out with Tommy Bahama's Margaritaville.
Yeah, it was a really interesting evolvement of how all this came together for one of the biggest jobs that we've ever done so far, which was the brand new Margaritaville that opened up on Anna Maria Island. They had contacted us regarding trying to do a custom bar top with epoxy resin, and something that we specialize in. And I gotta give more credit to Ashley than anybody on this one, but this ocean pour, where it literally looks just like an ocean right on top of your bar. And it's a fluid art, so it's a really, really interesting process how to do it. But sure enough, we got a chance to have that opportunity to do that. And it was definitely one of the hardest projects we ever could have possibly took on. But once again, you got to try to just outdo yourself and just get in there and get it done. So luckily, once again, tip my hat to Ashley. She just came in there with her whole game plan. We executed it, and 1 week later, this thing is a beautiful bar top, and we still get compliments all the time, and also more work from that bar top from people just visiting. But it was just a really cool scenario. How, just to back that up a little bit, I was at my farmer's market booth, and the guy walked in, and his company was called Stellar Construction Company with an AR, and sure enough, Stellar Artworks with an ER. So that was the first little intro of our little, hey, what's up? And sure enough, I showed him a couple of examples of some cutting boards we had there in the booth. And he's like, man, we were just getting ready to talk about the bar idea for the new Margaritaville, what we're going to do for the bar top. So it's so much luck that just falls into, like, in the air, and just somehow pieces fall in front of you. You just have to be able to see it and just take advantage of it, right, whether it's hot. So luckily, it was just 1, 2, 3. We met. I got an email on Monday, threw him a quote that week, and we were rolling. It was a really, really cool process, though, man. Yeah, I love that.
I'm trying to jump back in here with you. Sorry.
No, cool. I love that. It looks awesome.
Yeah, and that's what, like I said, that process was just starting last time we were on, and that's what I thought was cool, is that we had something that evolved from it, and that just recently happened, like in the past couple months. And that's what I'm saying, like, the businesses continue to grow. Later in the show, I'll ask you about something that I know you guys just signed exclusive that you really can't go into too much detail about. But there is something that's in the works for you guys that people need to be on the lookout for, because of the fact that it's coming to stores, folks. Like, this ain't gonna be out there just, him trying to grind and do it by, word of mouth. He's going to really get it out there for you guys. It's going to be in some stores and be able to be found exclusively. So proud of that. We'll get into that some more, I guess, later. I know that you can't kind of talk about that per se, but just yet, but you can kind of elaborate a little bit more onto what it is that you guys are planning for that situation when it does come.
For sure. It's a big opportunity that's presented itself to us, and it's kind of cool because we've always been a small operation, just husband and wife working from home, woodworking, and also raising a 3-year-old. So it's a fun little environment, as you can imagine. But all that hard work eventually will get to a point where it eventually has to pay off, right? So it feels like all the grinding that we've been doing for a while now, we are just kind of like leaning towards this idea, like maybe we should just look towards a large store that would like to actually offer our product, and then we could have a whole new available opportunities there and not even have to work on the weekends anymore like usual. We'll set up a booth. So there is a store that we've been talking to, and they really specialize in a coastal environment for patio and indoor as well. And it really looks like it's going to be a real home run for both of us. They love the idea of something that's A, local, B, unique. And that's really what we fall into that category well. So I think it's just going to be a mutual beneficial relationship. And that's what we're just working on right now. Because it's that time, man. 2021, get ready.
That's awesome. No, that's how, you know what I mean? That's how I'm excited for y'all. I remember, when we were at Cam's birthday party a couple weeks ago and you guys announced it and you were so jacked, and we were all so happy for you guys too. Like, let's go.
Well, let's go ahead and think about that now. That was only a couple weeks ago, right? Now let's rewind way back to when I was at my last house on Millmart, and we were in my backyard, and I was working on a piece, and I was talking to you. I'm like, this really could be something, couldn't it, Tony? And you're like, dude, this really is, man. I'm not going to lie to you one bit. This is something you could really run with. So here we are.
It truly was. And that's what I'm saying. Like when I saw what you were trying to do and how much effort you were putting into it, because it wasn't like, people don't understand. This isn't like he's, getting up there and it's a quick cut stencil kind of thing. He's putting in the work on those pieces. Like he's sawing these by hand. Like you're getting these pieces done by the man. Like he's doing them too. He's doing them. Like they're both working on super cool pieces. It has evolved from where it's at before to what it is now. And I mean, that's what I mean. We'll I guess, I can kind of show it now because of the fact that, you and I, hold on, let me do this.
It's just taking that passion, that love for what you do. And I swear it's just, it's contagious. People just love that feel.
Yeah.
So it's just getting a chance to do something that you really love. And something like the old saying is, you never have to work a day in your life when you do something you really love.
Yeah.
So we're just really trying to take that ride.
So I actually have up your Instagram, okay? And within this Instagram, it kind of goes into detail with Stellar Artworks. You got a cool, dope hogfish scuba diving sign that you had just done.
Yeah,
I know, you had done other hogfish style artwork and nothing. And like I said, everything's customized. Like this piece right here will never be done again. Like you're not going to do that exact same piece for
I've never
anyone
done
else.
a piece like that before either too. So that was my first attempt at that, with that look of the fish, but then throwing in a diver as well. And if you look a little bit closer, that bottom board, that's one board that I cut that diver inside of. That's not multiple boards. So just imagine taking one simple little board and drawing out a scuba diver and trying to cut that out without it breaking. So I got lucky on that one.
Oh yeah, and that's what I'm saying. The details to his hands, the feet coming out, it's crazy because you truly did do that all on one board. And that's not simple stuff to do, So.
And on that note too, just going on to the whole personal aspect, that is going to be a Christmas gift from a wife to a husband who is a diver. So that's like the ultimate, I would think, the ultimate gift for somebody who who has everything.
I'm gonna come back to the wine boards that you have done. I'm gonna kind of scroll down to some bottom pieces.
Yeah.
that you were working on. I know you had done some collabs with people for Marina Jack.
Yep.
That's
their buddy Wes.
Cool piece. Go ahead and elaborate a little bit about that.
Yeah, so there's a really, really beautiful artwork at Marina Jack's. It's a very large piece that has an underwater scene right here, very similar to this one. And there was some people that were enjoying some cocktails, and they looked at that piece, and they found my business card right by it. So they contacted me, and they said they want one just like that. So this is the next one. This is a 8-foot wide and 4-foot tall variation of what we specialize in over here at Stellar Artworks. Those are all hand-cut sharks, stingrays, and of course a big old octopus. That was my first octopus right there with that attempt of that look. And then a big shout out to my guy Wes that I've been doing a lot of partnering up with on certain artworks, and he is beyond talented for underwater illustrated artwork. And as you can see, it looks like you're looking through the water and even into the water. That's like that.
That's crazy. What Wes is able to do too, with on top of your work, like
it's a killer combo.
He's gifted too. I'm gonna have Wes on sometime too. You know that. I know Wes. Wes and I worked together back at the Boca days. Yep. And Wes Evans, he's a great artist. If you don't know about Wes,
shout out to you, man. I think actually you're the one who hooked us up.
Yes. I actually told Wes about you. I said, I got a dude who does some woodwork, and your artwork on top of his woodwork would be nasty.
And there it is, right there. You're looking at it. Yep. And that's a big piece that went up to Tampa to a private home on their patio. And it's an absolute beast. It's just a really, really cool piece.
Super cool piece.
Yeah.
I know you were working with, tabletops. We were talking about the Margaritaville. I don't know if Margaritaville's on here. Did you guys actually? Here it is, isn't it?
Yep.
This
that is actually a private home, personal bar, but it's almost exactly what the Margaritaville look would look like. So it's a large bar. That's what it was originally, and that's what it turned out to be. So that's what you can do with any kind of surface, essentially, with this epoxy resin, is that you can transform these looks from a plain wood bar into an aerial view of the ocean. And this is also all credit to Ashley on this one, once again, because she's also mixing her own white, which is a little bit of hard to explain, but that's a really, really unique. There's Margaritaville right there in the middle. Look at that.
That's beautiful.
That is the sandbar.
That's the truth too. I mean, it really looks like you're sitting at a bar that's got waves blowing, and it's crazy.
Yeah, I just love the idea that you could put your drink on a coaster in the sand. That's a really cool thing.
That's awesome.
It was a beast to do, though.
All right. After, I know you guys have done tabletops, your surfboards. You guys had worked in the dog bowls. A little bit of this.
So this is our new venture right here. It was a really cool idea. I was working a Saturday downtown farmers market, and a policeman who's also a friend of mine, Tony, he came over and he was like, man, there's so many dogs at this market. And I was like, this is one of the busiest dog markets I've ever seen. And then he's like, you should make a dog bowl holder. And that's all he had to say. I was like, sir, I'll have one next week. So I went home and I was thinking like, man, a live edge wood dog bowl holder would just look so cool. And then, of course, a clear resin over it. And then Ashley's like, let's just pour a little wave right across the middle of it. I'm like, there you go. Now it's even more cooler, more unique. So these things are just right off the bat. That one right there is cedar wood. You see how gorgeous the wood is alone. Add in a little wave next to it as well, and you got something really cool there. And like the first person who bought one, he's like, I used to have my dog bowl holder in my laundry room. I couldn't care less about it. Now it's in the living room because I want people to see it. So,
that's a piece of art, man.
Functional.
This is all live wood pieces too. Like, this one is super dope. I love that piece of. Plus the piece behind it. Can you kind of talk about the two?
Yeah, man. So I've been trying to really specialize and kind of like evolve my artwork from the boards. They're staggered boards, reclaimed wood, and now I'm actually trying to use live edge pieces of raw wood that I take and sand them down, grind them down to a really nice flat surface. and something easy to work on. And now I'm using those as my canvases. So each one that go on the wall, it's like a really cool driftwood look to it, and just create a whole scenery out of it. So if you look a little closer, I'm trying to implement that sand and use that as a beach line. So it's almost like the wave is crashing right on the shore. But once again, that's a Norfolk pine piece of wood, roughly probably like 1.5 inches thick, but it sits right on the wall. It's a nice little, I think that once again, woodworking is just something everybody loves. So when you incorporate that into decor or even interior design, you got something that's so unique. I think it's just so much better than just something you just found at Bell's. But this also lights up, not shown in this picture, but as you can imagine, right around 8 o'clock when you click it on, it lights up. It's awesome. That house right there, man, on the far right.
This house has a few pieces of yours, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah.
are they on display in here?
Yeah, they're right there on the right side. This is a really unique house right there on Anna Marie Island. I get a chance to work with this private home builder, and this is probably our 5th collaboration. But each house he does, he decks it out himself, and that's the Skyway Bridge artwork that I did for him with the mermaid next to it. So it's really cool. Every house that he builds, he designs as well, and he partners up with a lot of artists that are all local, including myself, and he puts these houses together that just look like so cool, man. They're just works of art, and each one sells quick. And each one comes with a putting green.
All right, let's get into a little bit about the future of Stellar Artworks. I know that you're working on this right now. This is like present day stuff too.
Right.
I know everything that you're working on is always present day, but this is like right now.
Yeah, like what we're looking at right here in this picture, these are what we call the Wine Island. This was a funky little idea I came up with a while ago, where cutting in these groove marks are perfect little slots for your wine glasses, so you don't have to worry about spilling your wine glass ever again. This will have also some small little legs on them, so you could put this right in the grass between 2 chairs. You could put this right on top of your dining room table between friends. And this is all that epoxy resin poured on top of it, which gives it a glass look to it. But that's all food safe. So right there in that little river, that's your little meat and cheese charcuterie area. So it's really cool for entertaining guests. And once again, just you and your partner, just sit back and enjoy some. What better way to do it? And this is something a little bit more fun now. And these two are requested, these colors. So Ashley put together a blush gold and white river on that one. And then that one on the right almost looks like marble. That's a darker gray, silver, and white. So once again, that creates, I think it almost looks like marble. So that's a beautiful way, just functional art. And the future is endless, man. Since, we keep on trying to answer that question the best way we can, but we just take this one day at a time still. But right now, it's just all about these Christmas orders, just getting them done in a timely fashion and try to get them shipped off to all their destinations before the 18th. And then it's a modern day Santa operation over here, kids. We're building things from scratch and sending them off on reindeers.
Yeah, for sure. It's tough, dude.
Yeah, it's cool though, because we're focused about 2021. 2020 was a drag, but luckily we made the best of it. But with the new year, with this new opportunity coming, presenting itself, it should be really, really big things for Stellar Artworks. And it's all thanks to all of you guys, though, man. Even one person who goes on Instagram, looks at a picture and shares it with somebody, that potentially becomes a sale. So that is, thank you.
Definitely. Yeah. I'm glad people appreciate what you're doing, and you and I had chatted earlier. We were kind of laughing it up and talking about how when you and I first met, and you kind of mentioned it being at Marina Jackson, you had met me and your wife kind of around the same time. I think Ashley was working there by the time you got there. And I remember your first day there, and you were sitting in the back of the kitchen, kind of standing over the banquet table, just watching us roll out a banquet. You know what I'm saying? And we're pushing it out. And you were like, "Hey, Tone," you were like, "Chef Jason told me to tell you what's up." And I started laughing. I said, "Oh, you know Jay?" And you were like, "Yeah, I know Jay. I work with him at Hyde Park." And shout out to Chef Jason. Jason's like not Chef Jason anymore. He's actually selling cars and been selling cars for years now.
Hey.
Jason's my dude. We worked at the Colony together, did a lot of stuff together. So I knew that if, you know what I'm saying, he kind of gave you the right away. I knew you was good people. And luckily for me and my wife, you were good people because you've been a family friend of ours ever since. You know what I'm saying? So
how many Christmases?
Right? Like we've done it all. We've sat at Christmas tables. We've done Thanksgivings together. We've done, you know what I mean, the lake house together.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, like a lot of people don't realize, like we don't just, when we go out to the lake, like we don't just invite anyone out there. That's a close
that's a privilege
of people that come out to the lake house, and it's always a good time because we're out there and it's an exclusive little shindig, you know what I mean? And
that was Camden's first time on a jet ski.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, Gavin, Gia, they're all the same way, and I mean,
so cool.
We gotta get our boy out there too, so that he can test it out too and see how it is.
Hey, who knows what the future holds? I know Camden already has the artistic touch. He's been just doing some fantastic sketching and just drawing around, but I try to incorporate him into a lot of the artworks that I've been doing. Were just the simple, easy brush strokes and just applying some white as a format. And why not let him do it? Come on over here and let him get used to a paintbrush.
No, that's cool. That's how they learn, you know. Yeah. And luckily he's fortunate enough to have two artistic parents that can work with him as he grows, you know what I mean, throughout the process. You know, there are people in the chat. I would like for them to kind of comment a little bit if they could, kind of, you know, let us know that they're there. If you got any questions for Tim, I'm going to put you solo screen, Timmy, for a second. Let you kind of just tell people how they can get a hold of you, reach out to you. This won't be the end of it because, I mean, I'm going to keep talking with you for a minute. We got a lot more to talk about. And then, you know, I mean, we'll do it again later in the show. But I'm going to give you that second now to kind of pitch Stellar Artworks. Tell them how they can get a hold of you, and tell them what's possible for them to get out.
Yeah, man, I love that. So the basic, the first way and easiest way to come across any of these artworks, or even come over with some questions, come over with some ideas, come on down to the farmers market. You'll find me down there every Saturday, downtown Sarasota. We're at Main Street and Lemon. I'm right at that intersection. And then also on Sundays, I go up to the St. Pete Market. And it's on Corey Avenue, right across the street from the beach. So it's a great little trip to come up there and just explore a new area as well. And St. Pete Beach is always one of the best places around there. So it's a good chance you'll always find me there. And that way you can come over there and see these artworks on display, get a chance to understand them a little bit better. I can explain them a little bit better. And then also just get a chance to come to me with your ideas. Let's say you have something you've been wanting to do for forever, or you have a surprise gift you want to give for your loved ones, or any other ideas you might have. We love that idea, getting a chance to do some custom work for people. So it's a good way to do it. And then, of course, the website. You'll find right there, stellarartworks.com. And that's a really good way to see all the colors in full HD quality. And you get a chance to see these on walls in people's homes. So you can get a little idea what it would look like maybe on your wall. And then, of course, Instagram is really the most up-to-date, though. So for social media, Instagram is just Tim_Stellar, as well as Stellar Impressions. We have 2, and then you'll see everything there, and that's just a fully up-to-dated. And that way is also a messaging system. So if you just see a picture you have a question about, let's say you want a palm tree, but you prefer something a little bit different, like darker tones, let's do it. I have an array of colors to work with and different size boards available too. So we can go from something maybe for like right above the bed. So nice custom headboard size, maybe 4 feet wide, all the way up to 9 foot wide, whatever you prefer. Or if you have something like, let's say, a surprise gift you want to give for your mom. We also specialize in cool little coasters with epoxy resin in it. So a nice 4-pack of coasters for mom. Great little gift idea to say I love you. And it's a really, really fun way of doing that too, because it's something that came from your heart and you hired somebody to make it. I mean, Amazon is doing plenty good, so support your local artist. But yeah, those are our best avenues to find us at. And then coming soon, you might find us in the stores. Who knows? Next time you're at the old the big store, you come across the coastal section, you bump into a wall lit artwork, you'll know where it came from.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I mean. It's coming to store soon, folks. Be on the lookout for it. I do got a question coming in from my boy TJ. TJ, I appreciate you, man, for jumping in, and I jump on your guys' show on Frick Frack Patty Whack. I love that show.
Sweet.
Avid watcher of it on Thursdays. They always bring it for me. Put it on my phone and just place it next to me, and I just listen to them roll. You know what I mean? Super cool show. If you ain't heard of it, check them out. You know, they're on Facebook Live as well. They're called the Frick Frack Patty Whack Show. But yeah, he reached out and was asking about. He said, I believe I saw countertops. When we build this next year, I'm definitely interested in seeing some possibilities. If not for inside, maybe the outside bar. Incredible work.
Awesome. Yeah, man, that's the perfect idea. And a great way to promote that idea is just these really unique countertops. So inside is obviously a best scenario. We try to always kind of lead out a warning that you don't want to really have to do direct sunlight on these countertops because the UV resistancy, especially in Florida, is just unbearable. So if it's an outdoor tabletop, we would kind of lean against that. But as long as you have a shaded cupboard or tucked back inside of the patio so there's no direct elements on it, it's going to be a great looking outdoor kitchen, outdoor bar, tiki bar, whatever the case might be. It'll be a really cool way to do it. We can actually even try to educate the clients about how to save money a couple ways where we can just get a laminate countertop instead of something elaborate because we're going to be pouring over it anyways and transforming the look. So we can save $1 or $2 on that side just for them as well.
Yeah, TJ, definitely reach out to him. You know, he kind of just told you guys how to get a hold of him. You know what I'm saying? He's available through all kinds of ways. StellarArtworks.com, Instagram. He's there. You know what I mean? He's available. I know you appreciated me shooting you out a message, TJ. Much love for the Frick Frack Patty Whack. Totally appreciate y'all. And I'm gonna have TJ and Brooke on. Carlos, Aragon, that crew is super cool crew. Was almost tempted to call him to see if he wanted to kind of fill in the spot because I knew I had you placed out for next week because we were going to talk some more, and we were hoping that the exclusive that you weren't able to speak on about so much tonight, you were going to be able to speak on possibly next week because maybe it was finalized and we were able to.
We'll do part 2 interview.
Yeah, it's like so. I mean, listen, this is episode of the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So there's going to be many more interviews of you and I because I mean, like I told you before, I appreciate what you were able to do tonight. I've always appreciated your work.
Yeah, man. We love supporting this little, also the business program you got going on, man. This is so cool. Yeah, we love Tony. We love all the Ashleys. Gonzalez clan, man. I mean, we gotta get Capone on the camera next.
All right. He'll be coming on soon. Gavin was asking me if he can get on the show with you tonight. He was like, I wanna get on the show with Mr. Tim. And I was like, nah, buddy, not tonight.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have him on his own exclusive. Like he'll get to do his own show with me. So he and I can have fun and just kind of chop it up about life as a whole.
I love it. I love that opportunity. Yeah, man.
TJ said he's jumping on your site right now. He's going to go check you out.
I got to update that website, but it's still pretty good current with a lot of good pictures on there too. But once again, if you want to see everything up to date, hop on the Instagram, and that's just much more easier. I've maxed out the old website, so I got to revamp it a little bit. But no worries. Well,
and that's what my plan was by jumping on the Instagram because I know you're always dropping some heat on there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, people can see it. So I was like, let me at least put the Instagram up. He can kind of explain. I know what I was able to show. Maybe it wasn't the best pictures and the clearest stuff, but
it was fun.
Yeah, it's like I'm just trying to help you out and scroll through and show people what it is that you can make available to them.
Yeah, man. I mean, much appreciated. I'm going to take the camera and go a little closer to this piece, see if you can see this a little more detail.
Hold on, let me zoom you in. Let me zoom it in. Take care of this. Let's go here. All right, go ahead, Timmy.
So one thing I really love is that wood grain right there, you'll notice it almost looks like it's a fluid pattern, like a movement of water. So I'm trying to run with that idea, just having these things look so cool as they do. But it's just a whole other world when the lights are on it. And each blade of leaf is all hand cut, and each blade is always different. That's one thing I always try to make sure I do. So never one palm tree, and I've made hundreds. Not one palm tree is identical. This is a really cool fade of weathered gray going into a softer white gray, into antique white. And this is called vintage aqua blue. And then this is my little sand bed on the bottom. All the seagulls lit up at night. Yeah, man, it's a cool way of playing with wood. Yeah, man. Well, many, many new things in the works, brother. I'll tell you that. And that's
and that's what I mean. That's those the art pieces that you have early from the wood, like, and where it's kind of going.
Yeah.
Is, I mean, it's crazy, man. I appreciate it. Like, I appreciate to watch the process, because I've been able to I've seen the process from when it was just me and a brainchild to what it's become. And like, we were, like you said, you had mentioned this to me, and you were like, "Gee, I really think this can prosper." And I was like, "I think it's possible too." And you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? That's why you can't kind of overlook anything that you're capable of. You got to kind of always continue to push, because people aren't going to get you there. You know what I'm saying? Who isn't going to get you there. It's like what you can do, what you're capable of, what's going to happen. So and we talk about that. You and I have talked about that many times. You know what I mean? Even when I was referring back to starting this podcast back up, you were like, "Oh, I'm excited for you, dude. Get it. And I was like, nervous. You know what I'm saying? I'm still nervous. And I'll probably always be nervous. Right before showtime, that last 2 hours, hour and a half, hour coming up, you know what I'm saying? 30 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes. And I'm like, I'm nervous here. I mean, and I got to look at it like, I'm not nervous. I'm excited. You know what I mean? I'm not nervous. I'm excited.
Some famous actor just said that a few days ago. I remember him saying on TV, he's like, if you're not nervous about it, you don't care about it then. So that's simply beautifully put. Like, that nervousness is because you want it. You're worried about it. You want to do this right. So that means you care. And that's all that matters.
And that's true. That's true. I mean, and that was kind of the like start to this, you know what I mean, the webcast. I was always wanting to be able to bring on people that I've met throughout the way, and eventually probably shows way down the road, if I'm able to get to a point where I'm able to talk to people that I've never even met, and it's like, I can't believe I've gotten this far. Like, I started this off with my local crew, with my locals. Like, I'm doing this as a local art on people that I know, that I'm able to reach out to and say, "Hey, I'm doing a podcast. You interested?" And they're like, "Hell yeah, I'm interested, dude. Like, I'll get on and chop it up with you and talk about what it is that I do." And my range of what it is that we were trying to do here was not just pinpoint any particular profession. That, like, what I've always been capable of as far as when it comes to the conversation piece. I've always been able to talk about numerous things. It's like, I can talk about sports, I can talk about art, I can talk about music, dance. It's like, there's so many things that I know about that I can tap into, sneakers and all that kind of stuff, that we sometimes forget that that's the person that is us. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's us. Like, I can't tell you to be me. I can't talk to you about, you know what I mean, certain things on how to sell cars or how to do this and how to do that. But I can get somebody on who can. I can talk to somebody and chop it up with them and kind of have them, you know what I mean? It's like, and same thing with what you're doing. It's like, the artwork is like, I may not be able to do that personally, but I can get somebody on who can. And that's what I did tonight. Like I reached out to a good friend of mine and was able to have Tim on, and Tim was able to kind of elaborate on what it is that they do at Stellar Artworks. And it's great. It's great.
I was up at the St. Pete market today just trying to sell some artworks, and I got the text message from you like, can you make it on the show? I'm like, yeah, well, I'll do it gladly, man. Let's do it. And from any kind of business point of view, and anybody who's out there trying to start a business from scratch in small time, take any marketing opportunity that's given to you, just do it. It's not going to hurt you, especially if it doesn't cost $1. So this is a really great platform, especially with online. People love videos. Facebook is obviously big. So, we might even get a countertop from our friend TJ just because of our cool little interview right here. So that's a beautiful thing.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. And that's what the point of this is. Like I said, it's to be able to have you tap into some of my people that may not know about you. You know what I mean? That just happen to come across you just in this interview alone. And I'm lucky enough to have some of your people that don't know about me be able to tap into my webcast and be like,
exactly,
yeah, dude, I'm gonna watch this dude. Yeah. Like, he's trying to bring some people to light that
local
see, you know what I mean? And we'll do all kinds of things. I'm gonna do all kinds of things in the future and have roundtables of many different artists. I've got friends in acting, Kenny Santiago Morera, like he's a good actor. He's been in all kinds of things, and I'm going to have him on in the future, and having you guys, woodwork artists and metal artists and Wes Evans, who was out of this world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like what he was doing with your stuff and what he's able to do is like have all of you guys on, and we're just chatting it up about random stuff. It doesn't even have to be so much about art anymore.
Right.
It can be about
I got a great friend of mine I'd love to introduce you to. His name also is Tony, but he's one of the most amazing blacksmiths you'll ever meet in your life. And there's probably not a lot of blacksmiths that we've ever met in our lives. So this guy is a really, really amazing wealth of knowledge. So I gladly want to hook you guys up. And I'm sure he'd love to do a spot if you ever get a chance for him too as well.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, I've got some guys out there that are sneakerheads. SS3 Kicks is out there, and he's somebody that, he does customs for people. You know what I mean? They call him, they say, I'm looking for this, that, the other. He's like, let me see what I can do.
There it is.
I mean, not only is he a reseller, because he can get you all kinds of stuff, he can also, help you customize something that you want and that you're going to wear. And that's what's cool about all these artists that we're going to bring on. I mean, you, like I said, I'm lucky enough to know you personally. I'm lucky enough to have you around always as a friend.
Yep.
A confidant, because I have to reach out to you all the time to recenter myself, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I've always been able to appreciate you during the years that we've been together. I guess kind of, if you want to elaborate some more about, what it is that the future holds for Stellar Artworks, and then, kind of just remind people that, they can reach out to you for custom work as well.
Yeah. It's all about custom work. We love that kind of opportunity and just get a chance to really just get that idea out of your brain and put it on paper and actually get a chance to put this thing together for you and just make this one of a kind artwork. And it really speaks volume when you get a chance to do these kind of things for these families. We get the emails all the time and the pictures from people that are proudly displaying these pieces. And that's just, for us, that's the cherry on top of all that hard work, is to see that love that they put just to show the pictures and all that. It's just a really quick finishing touch for all the hard work. But the future is endless. I mean, we have so many different opportunities and so many different paths. We could, if we wanted to, we could just dedicate our entire career right to one fit, like a model of a restaurant world, and have plenty of work. But this is such a universal idea that it can fit so many different things. We haven't even tapped into teams really, or even like really heavily into sports yet. But you can imagine that whole world is endless as well. But working with private interior designers and stuff like that is a really big fit, because that's endless work, and it's also just getting a chance to get into a home right before it's being built and creating a theme right around an artwork is an honor too, when these people are doing stuff like that with us in mind. This is a truly a treat. But come by the farmers market anytime you guys want on the Saturday, Sundays. Get a chance to come out. It's a perfect time of the year. Weather's great. bring your dog, and come on by and stop by and say hi. I'd love to get a chance to say hi and get a little question Q&A and see what we can put together for you guys. It'll be a lot of fun. And thank you. I love that piece right there. That looks so cool. Look at that little metallic. And these lights change colors too, so you can pick and choose between whatever color you want it to be. You can set it with a 6-hour timer on it, so it's really like a perfect night light for a kid's room. For a patio, it's just enough of a ambient light. It's not a neon by any means, and no wires to hide. Battery operated. Real cool. Let's play that beat one more time, man. I love that beat.
I know. I got to give a shout out. I do have to give a true and legitimate shout out to my cousin Nelson. He was able to have his boy DJ Scratch Johnson make a little intro beat to the show. My boy Jorge Vasquez makes the intro video and the outro video to my show. Totally appreciate you guys. Jorge, JNA Printing. Couldn't thank you guys enough because of the fact that you were able to come through for me early in the stages, and you were like, T, listen, when you're ready to make your own thing, I got a cool little digital video I can do for you. You know what I'm saying? So
great.
And that's what was cool. Is like, because of the fact that I didn't think that this was even going to go anywhere, and to have that little piece of people like let me know that they want to help me. You know what I mean? They want to see me move on. And I appreciate my cousin Nelson because he reached out to his boy and was like, "Oh, we gotta make something cool for his show. He got a little show going on. He's got a little webcast going that's gonna get out there, and he's trying to do his thing." And I mean, those guys, who are also artists. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what this is about. This is about artists helping artists. And I wish I could have had Mike Bylica on tonight because Mike Bylica is not in the art game, but he's a military man, and he's been doing military for us throughout the world. And it's not just artists. Like I said, it's going to be many different professions, and many different people are going to be coming out to talk to me to where we can chop it up about what it is they're doing as a business, and then what it is that they're looking to do in the future. And I mean, because 2020 is over. I know a lot of people dwelled on this year, and a lot of people were upset with the fact of quarantine. And I know you guys struggled. I know you struggled because of the fact of the farmers markets being down and you not being able to be in people's faces the way you were prior. You know what I mean? Prior to March or early April, you guys were there every weekend. I knew, you know what I'm saying? Like you went to the farmer's market, or if I called you, you were at the farmer's market. Like you were bouncing around at this one, that one. Like you were like, T, I'm here. And I was like, yeah, like, go, dude.
Hard work, man. It's hard work. Get your name out there. Get the business cards out there.
Yeah. And then April happened and everything shut down. And then it was mainly word of mouth. And then, when your website was able to feed and your Instagram's been feeding, and I've been making sure to kind of like every single picture and video and everything that I see because of the fact that I'm trying to put you out there, let people know about you as well. So
you're huge. Can't thank you enough, bro.
Definitely, dude. Like I said, I appreciate you stepping in tonight because you didn't have to do that, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes, I do. Yes, I do. I'm not gonna ever let you fall with a open hole and somebody's got to be there. I got you, man.
I know you do. Like I said, in the future, I want to have the wifey on. Ashley, I know you're scared back there in the background. I know you can hear me though.
She's ready.
Get on here one day, and you're gonna have a good time too. You know what I'm saying? It's a fun little time. You guys are sitting over there, comfortable at home.
Yep.
We're here, comfortable in the office. I'm
getting ready to eat me some steak.
You know what I'm saying? Cheers into you guys always.
I love it, bro.
Appreciate you, Timmy. Love you, dude.
Thank you, man. Thank you, bro.
All right.
All you guys out there.
Outro. I'm gonna just drop you backstage, dude, and then we'll chop it up right after the show. Okay.
Hey, Merry Christmas, everybody.
All right, man. Take care of yourself, bro.
Love you. Yeah.
All right, everyone. That was my boy Tim Stellar from Stellar Artworks. totally appreciate the guy, man. Couldn't ask anything more from that dude. He was able to come on for an hour exactly and chop it up and give you guys the business about what it is that he's doing, where he's trying to go, and just let you know that, you know, this is what he's doing and what he's making possible to y'all. You know what I mean? And so if you guys have an opportunity, go check out his website, check out his Instagram, stellarartworks.com, Stellar Artworks on Instagram. He's always going to be able to reach out to. And like I said, he customizes artwork. It's not just typical, you know, woodwork that he's doing with just the palm trees and the sharks and stuff. He will customize it to you as well, because of the fact that he's able to do all this. Like he's capable of so much. Like him and his wife Ashley, I couldn't appreciate them enough. They are a great duo, power couple. Love them, love their family, love their kids, love Camden and Colin, my boys. Couldn't be happier for them as a family. And, you know, appreciate what it is that Stellar Artworks makes possible. You know, I got a piece in my background and plan on keeping it there as long as the show goes on. So as far as that goes, I'm going to give you guys my quote and I'm going to send it out for the night. My quote is, nothing's impossible. It's only improbable. Think about it, folks. You know, because of the fact that people tell you it's impossible doesn't necessarily mean it is. And when you think to yourself that it's impossible, that's not true as well. Only improbable. It's only because you believe that it can happen. Make it happen. Enjoy yourself. It's your boy, The Business. Episode 2, over, out.